It's February 1966. The Syrian Arab Republic has just undergone a coup. The military committee of the Arab Socialist Syrian Ba'ath Party has just violently overthrown the ruling National Committee. Salah Jadid, leader of the armed forces, has just consolidated power with many of his other members, including one Hafez al-Assad, who in just 4 years will become the undisputed leader of Syria. After the defeat of Arab forces in the Six-Day War, another dispute between the people ruling the party occurred, this time between Jadid and Assad. Jadid believed the armed guerrilla strategy was superior in Palestine despite their loss. Relations with the reactionary Arab states, such as Jordan, Iraq, and Saudi Arabia, should be cut, and the party should not have too large a membership. Assad disagreed. He argued that the armed guerrilla strategy had failed and should be changed, relations with the other Arab states should be maintained, and that the party should be easier to join. Eventually, Assad ended up on top, and on the 12th of November 1970, he ordered the arrest of the Jadid loyalists and the leader, putting Assad in full control. On the 14th of March 1971, Assad was formally appointed as president. He created a system where he had the final say, and anyone who opposed him was dismissed. In the 1970s, Syria would invade Israel alongside Egypt in the Yom Kippur War, which resulted in Israel retaining the Golan Heights from Syria. Then, 3 years later, Hafez intervened in the Lebanese civil war against the PLO, Palestinian Liberation Army, as they were harboring political rivals of his regime, the Muslim Brotherhood. By the late 1970s, they had launched an insurgency, and its leadership would continue the struggle to topple the Assad regime until 2025. As the years went on, Assad was a diabetic and he suffered a cardiac arrest, which caused a succession crisis. His brother, Rafat, ordered defense company loyalists to seal Damascus off and advance to the city in an attempt to seize power. But Hafez recovered and exiled his brother as punishment, but this sparked the question of who would actually succeed him. His brother was no longer an option. The next option was Bashar, but he died in a car crash in 1994, and so the next option was Bashar. With no political experience, his succession after Hafez's death was met with controversy. He was a medical student in the UK who now found himself inheriting the most powerful position in Syria. Bashar, in his mid-30s, was actually under the legal age to be president, a law which had to be changed for him to be in office. Under Bashar, Syria retained its military presence in Lebanon until 2005. The Lebanese called for an end to Syrian military occupation, protesting all over the country, and Syria withdrew from Lebanon, ending the 29-year occupation. Then, in 2011, the Arab Spring had reached Syria, and the authorities responded with violence against the protesters. Assad would not step down, however, marking the beginning of the Syrian civil war. ISIS seized control over the eastern parts of Syria, while the Syrian Democratic Forces had seized control over Kurdistan. In 2017, the Syrian Salvation Government was formed in Aleppo, which would be the eventual rebels to take Damascus in 2024, forcing Bashar to flee the country to Moscow, ending the Assad regime for good. However, in this game, things go a little differently. I attempt to play as both Assads and win the Syrian civil war. Hello guys, welcome to episode 4, where there's going to be 2 dictators this episode, Hafez and Bashar. We'll start with Hafez, who we have to play in Cold War Iron Curtain, and then Bashar in Millennium Dawn. Now the content in Cold War Iron Curtain isn't exactly extensive, but we do get content for the Yom Kippur War that's in 1973, so I'll be trying to win that. Unfortunately, there is no focus tree for this, however, I'm pretty sure it still does the events of like Israel, Egypt and Israel with the Yom Kippur War. Now, the size of our army is massive. I mean, this is bigger than most Warsaw Pact states. Unfortunately, this is costing us way more money than our economy can afford. I can justify on Israel right now. We have a core state. They've Golan, alright, we can justify if we want to. I don't want to delete too many divisions though, because the war starts in October, and I want to be ready for it. Israel, as we know, are not exactly a walk in the park. Can we embargo Israel? Oh my god, I submitted a proposal for everyone to align with the Soviets. Everyone said no. I kept messing around with the Arab League, and I finally found a proposal that everyone could agree on, and that was condemning British colonialism. Anyway, by October, I put my army on the Israeli border and tried to reclaim the Golan Heights. Reclaim the Golan Heights! For months we are preparing to strike against the enemy with our brothers in Egypt. Now that they have launched a devastating strike against the Zionists, the time has come for us to join in. Honestly, I expected this to be a lot harder. I kinda just ran over them in 5 minutes. Egypt didn't even get a chance to push anywhere because I capitulated Israel before anything happened. There we go. We've captured essentially all of Israel. We just capitulated Israel just like that. Now, I thought it would be harder. I mean, they have nukes in 1973, so... Anyway, I tried to liberate Palestine in the peace deal, but I couldn't do that. And puppeting Israel results in their modern-day incarnation. So the best I could do was annexing it. Fast forward 3 years, we also get a chance to invade Lebanon because of their civil war. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the content. I also invaded Iraq because I got bored by justifying, and I created a cool Syrian empire. Arabic Empire. Wow. Alright, I'm done. This is boring. Let's go. Let's go on towards Bashar. Maybe they'll update Syria in the future, but there's a lot of potential for content here, especially in the 1973 war. Anyway, now it's time for the actual fun campaign, which is Bashar and Millennium Dawn. Okay, so we've switched over to Millennium Dawn here, and it is the 1st of January 2000, which means Hafez is actually still in charge of our country, but he is going to die very soon, and we'll have Bashar succeed him. Thankfully, the content is a lot more extensive here than it is in the Cold War. In fact, it goes like well past 2011. I feel like Israel's going to be a lot harder to beat than they are in Cold War and Curtain. A lot. Okay. It's also going to be a whole lot harder to play. Fortunately, I wasn't that far in the game, so I just set everything up again. Ooh. We've got like no money in the treasury. Oh, God. We got 39 billion in debt. We're losing money. The Syrian economy has definitely been better, and this is only the second time I've played this mod, so the chances of me reviving that economy are slim to none. Here we go, succession of al-Assad. We need to get support for Bashar to be the higher. Alright, decreased agricultural subsidies. We got a civ back, so now this can be 2006. Alright. Bashar meets ministers. Let him be free to hold meetings. He gets support by 5. We currently have a monthly deficit, and our army is our largest expense. And the civil war is still like 10 years away, so we can cut it back for now. Along with other expenditures like healthcare, we don't need that. And by next year, Bashar would come into power. It's 2001. I'm pretty sure this guy should be dead right now. He died in like June 2000, so it's already a bit late, and this mod is screwing up the history. And trust me, it screws it up a whole lot more. I mean, I've got historical AI on, and it's still horrible. Relocate Lebanese industry. Oh, we get a civilian factory. We're taking, yes. Steal from Lebanon. Anyway, our leader finally died, and we had enough influence to get Bashar in power. During a phone call with the Lebanese Prime Minister, Hafez al-Assad died due to a heart attack. We got to amend the constitution because he's not old enough. we gotta do that real quick. But there he is. I tell you what, the healthcare cost reduction that he gives is pretty good, but it's at the cost of political power gain because he's got no political experience. Constitutional amendment done. All right, I'm gonna stop going down there for now. I wanted to go down the economy tree a bit more. Renegotiate loans is pretty good. 40 billion in debt goes away. Thank God. The problem with having so much debt is because we pay interest on our debt, and the higher it is, the more interest we have to pay, reducing our income, which very quickly can spiral out of control. So it's very important to keep tabs on how much debt we have. With GDP per capita, almost 12,000. This caught my attention. I want to actually have a look at the Syria GDP per capita graph, and at 2011, there was a huge crash. Anyway, people keep protesting against our government, probably because there's crippling corruption. But to be honest, those corruption payments are the only thing keeping us out of economic ruin. Look at this, we're doing good things. We're cutting the debt, we're doing amazing things. Leave me alone. Bam, 78. How can we do? Tourism, boom. Tourism boom. Who the hell is going to Syria for a holiday? I mean, I'm sure it was a very nice country before the civil war, but goddamn. Another proposal. Well, with this one, it will increase corruption. Police cost multiplier goes down. Whatever. By 2005, I'm going to be asked to withdraw from Lebanon. However, I really don't want to do that, so if I annex them before 2005, I might be in the clear. Reduce autonomy in Lebanon. Yay. By 2002, I should probably start considering what I plan on doing in the future. One thing for sure is we're surrounded by enemies, Turkey, Iraq, Israel, so I should probably start making some friends, and those lie in Iran and Egypt. There's a tourism boom, apparently. Historically, Syria joined the war on terror. We have an option, though, to harbour terrorists, but I decided to stay historical. I don't want to do anything that impedes the civil war coming. Alright, join the war on terror, cool. We give us military factories, we get oil, civilian factory. I can ban a news organization, which is funded by the Qatari government, criticizing us. I can just ban them. We're banning them. I noticed that I was running out of fuel fast. Even though I deleted some of my army and they weren't moving around, I was using fuel, I think probably just for my civilian economy. Soon, we were going to run out, and when you do, you get major debuffs. I'm not moving them around. Why is the army taking fuel? Ignore the $200 billion of debt too. God, this is horrible. Fuel is going down like crazy. And is it because I went on to mixed economy and now we're like exporting more than I should? There we go. We can lower the autonomy now of Lebanon. Let's do it. Bam. Autonomous region. Despite my debt problem, my income being horrible, and no oil, for some reason we had increased consumer confidence. Oh, we got an increase in consumer confidence. Look at that. Stable growth. Hey, look at that. Anyway, 2003. I'm still losing fuel. I don't understand the whole fuel thing. Let me get off the free trade, I guess. I don't know what's doing that. But it's going up again. What? No, now it's going down. You know what? Fine. We're still going back. This should increase it again, right? Anyway, we had the option to integrate Lebanon, and I could annex them and core their land, which is pretty useful, apart from the fact that we absorb all of their debt. We should... Oh, the expenditure kind of went up. No income went up, though? Are you serious? Like, come on. How does it go? Like, we're gaining fuel. Oh, are we gaining it for good now? Oh, we're gaining it again. I just had to put my army on training for a second and then untrain them. Oh, no, never mind, we're losing. And I will continue to have this problem with fuel for the entire game. It wasn't until I bought a bunch of fuel from Iran that it fixed itself, at least. This gives us stability. We're at 0% right now. What? Why? What? That now we're at 55. We're 0. Why is it good? What the hell? It's gone from 55 to 0. 55 to 0. Yep, they're the dire consequences when you run out of fuel. Anyway, so I tried finding ways I could get more oil. Then I remembered in the focus tree with the war on terror, I could get oil from America. So that's what I tried to do. Yeah, fuel gain per fossil fuel. Oh, we need that. We need the fuel gain. 700 and some days. I'm not waiting that long. You can't be running out of fuel like this. It's actually contributing to, like, me losing money. Oh, look. We actually... Whoa. We have fuel. We have tons of fuel now. Like, so much out of nowhere. Yeah, so I don't know where that came from, probably from the American investment, but it doesn't really help because we're probably going to run out of it in a matter of months. I'm going to expand the power stations and hopefully tap into oil reserves. 2004 was pretty uneventful. I just continued down my economy tree, trying to get as many civs as I can. Lower medicine prices or encourage exports. I kind of want to do that. Replace fast growth with economic boom. This economic modifier is a complete lie. There is no way we're having an economic boom. There is literally oil shortages across the entire country. But hey, I ain't complaining. It's giving me construction speed and research. And also, in an effort to get more civilian factories, I tried decreasing the tax. It actually worked. Oh yeah, okay, dude, it did decrease the tax. Cool. So now we got 2 on civilian factories and 2 on another project that's giving me a civilian factory in a year. So yeah, cool. What do we do? Fund Hezbollah. And then we can join the Axis of Resistance. We can actually join the Iranian faction, the Axis of Resistance, along with Hezbollah. Now this stood out to me because it is a great idea to win the civil war very easily. And I decided to do this. However, this would have a lot of unintended consequences. I've decided to train divisions but not put a location so that, like, when they're ready I can just deploy them and they won't cost money to put them out, hopefully. We then got this collapsing housing prices event, so our economic boom was short-lived. I'm gonna miss the extra research and construction speed from that. Okay, fast growth, that's fine. Anyway, I decided to join the Axis of Resistance. Although I'm going slightly off history, I really want to do an Israel-Iran war. Yeah, there we go. They agreed to our request. We're officially in the Axis of Resistance with Iran. Iraq is in NATO because Saddam got invaded, and I think America remains there until, like, they decide to leave. I don't know when they leave. But there's seriously no, like, just infantry divisions. Like, we don't just have normal infantry divisions? Can't we get some of those out? I decided making an infantry template would be useful since the only equipment that we can produce are guns, so at least I could actually mobilize some of my own manpower. And then I remembered we got an influence mechanic and I can use it, and I tried to influence Jordan because my GDP is higher. Can I spread influence? I can, with political power. I'm spreading influence to Jordan. Now, this process was going to take a very long time, alright? For every click, I don't even get a whole percentage, and not to mention, I'm going to forget a whole bunch of times. I should have just given up, because there was no way I was going to get this done. Alright, here we go. Let's get that excavation, so I can do that focus to get more oil. Alright, expand the oil refineries. Phosphate extraction. We get a commercialized agriculture district. What is that this tractor thing? What does that do again? I think it gives you a bit of income for your agriculture, although I'm not entirely sure, and the income is negligible, so there's no point. Okay, I just realized how many troops Iran has. They got a lot. My friend. 64? I've only got 8. But I've got how many in training? Another 8. Okay, so I got 16. That's not great. Could be better. I think Iran is just going to carry us through this entire game. Also, my interest on debt is getting way too high. I'm having an incoming financial crisis. Also, I swear, no matter how much oil I buy from Iran, I'm still running out. It's so annoying. It seems like it's helping me. Okay. If we just keep one factory on buying oil... No, it all goes away. Why? Why? Is it because I have divisions in training? Where's the... Here, I need to do this. I need to get excavation 1. I think I did start researching that. Yeah, I did. Excavate. It's like 2 years away. That is a decision to get more oil from the ground, which will be very useful to us if we're just going to stop running out of it. Unfortunately, I have to research the excavation, which takes like 700 days, so it's going to be so long. I can ask debt... Oh, Syrian banks face crisis. Why is my... Okay, now I'm in positive daily gain. I bought a little bit more fuel from Iran, and I don't know what changed, but we were in a positive gain of fuel for the rest of this... Well, not the rest of this game, but like for a very long time. Which is a relief. Now my country is actually going. And we got decent civs now, anyway. Look at that. Some on the tax costs. 3 on trade, but... It's necessary. I might try and convert one of my military factories to a civ. I don't need that many mills, and it's cheaper to do this. I only need 2, I think. I have enough guns. At this point, I had enough guns, and there was no chance in hell I was producing any tanks or APCs. So I thought converting a military factory to a civilian would be a good idea. Can I do any of this? I can expand laboratories. Does this give me a research slot? I think it does. Yeah, it's available. I can get a research slot, right? Somehow, through this economic turbulence, I've managed to get my GDP and GDP per capita high enough to get 2 research slots. You know, I kind of like this mechanic. It's kind of fun. Alright, purge the opposition. We'll do this marriage, so we get 10% construction speed. That's pretty good. We're about to finish this civ. Yes, it's almost done. Oh, another civ, and it went straight to the tax cost. Lovely. My ally Iran is getting surrounded by NATO. I mean, Afghanistan, Iraq, Turkey. It's not looking good. There we go, we got our research slot. We got a 3rd research slot. Okay. I guess research speed will be good. Can I not get this yet? I still haven't researched excavation 1. Oh my god. We'll do these agricultural investments. When am I going to research it? It's 71 days away. Oh, they actually took South Ossetia. Look at that. They're going to take that as well. Interesting. Oh, we're so close to overtaking the USA in influence. Turkey does not want to establish a non-aggression pact with us. Why? I didn't even ask for them to do that. I decided to decrease the tax rate. It would lower my income, but more civilian factories would be available for me to build. Another one of those. Now let's do provisions to Dara. Another commercialized agriculture district. Yeah, we've cored Lebanon, by the way. So that is just a core. Like Beirut. Yeah, core territory. At the start, it was a problem because we absorbed all their debt, but in the long run, it's paying off now. But the debt still keeps climbing, and companies are now leaving my country. And I was putting this off, okay? Asking Iran for a debt bailout, because they get influence in our country, but I think now I've got no choice. Iran grants the bailout. At the same time, I cut back my spendings of things that I was spending too much on. If it's in the blue, it means you're spending more than expected. The green ones are just like, is what you're expected. And if it's red, you're spending less than it's expected. How does this add up to 6 billion? If you look closely, you can see the interest on debt is responsible for 3-point-something billion of that. I guess lowering the debt, that's how you do it. So I guess we should probably start lowering the debt. Which means I need to have a net income instead of a net deficit. Alright, we've earned the claims. I can't meet Hamas. Sadly, this game is going to stray so far from historical, and our focus tree is going to be cock-blocked. Another strategy to lower the debt is to just print money. I know that sounds bad, but our productivity is already really high, so I decided to just do a little bit of money printing to pay it off. Between that and asking Iran to bail us out of debt, I managed to bring it down. Oh my god, beautiful. 38% tax rate. I know it's insane, but we're in income now. Oh my god, look at this. The debt's going down. We're doing great. We're doing fine. Interest and debt is coming down, and then this, it's like 2 billion, so they'll halve pretty much once we get rid of it all. The best part about it is that our income is going to go higher each time we lower the debt, because the interest on debt will decrease as we lower the debt. So if you get what I mean. My GDP has gone to 20. So I can now get, I think, another research slot. I don't know, 2008 was like a turning point for me economically. The whole world probably, wasn't there like that financial crash in 2008? For me, it wasn't a financial crash, it was an economic turnaround. I can now do the second oil excavation. We'll use a sieve, but that's fine. And this is important because each time we get more oil out of our ground, we can use one less factory for trading, right? So we can just build more. All right, there's the air practice with Britain. French investments, a civilian factory, and 10 billion. And then the worst thing in the entire world happened. One of the events where protesters demand like higher government spending appeared, and you have three options. You can either say yes, no, and no. I accidentally clicked the one where it granted the concessions, and now all of our spending is going to go up again. I didn't mean to do that. No, I'm in a deficit again. What the hell, man? I didn't mean to click that. Oh my stupid lag. I clicked here and then I moved my mouse to the thing, and it registered the click as when I... Oh my god, I can't do it. I can't do it. Nah. America, give me some oil. I know you don't like to give it away, but I want it. Thank you. I can't decrease it until 200 and something days because of the stupid decision that I accidentally clicked. I can now get another research slot. Wow. I'm getting so many research slots. 2008 is coming to an end, and we're starting to get close to the Arab Spring and the Civil War starting. Apparently, in this mod, it can start as early as 2010 if the protest level is high enough, which it definitely is in my country. Oh, I got a ton of army experience. Let's light infantry and how much? I'm sure we got artillery. Yeah, we got plenty of artillery. I'm finally making my bloody infantry division. It's taken way too long for such a shit division. Get the third level. Yeah, phase 3. Yes. Can I please stop buying? Nah, I still need one. Fuel consumption goes down. That's good. That must be why we're running out of fuel, because it's not just the army that's consuming it. It's like officers and the general public, I guess. The US finally withdrew from Iraq, so it's no longer in NATO now. And I wouldn't have minded invading it with Iran, but they're guaranteed by Iran. I still think I could have invaded them though, because we're in the Iranian faction, which is, you know, higher level than being guaranteed by them. Oh yeah, before I ask for Iran for a debt bailout, you know, Iran has 33% influence in us. Might as well just be a puppet. God. Hey, private investors invest in civilian industry. That's good. Anyway, I was finally able to cut my spendings that I couldn't change for the longest time. Minimals, yes. It's like a weight off my shoulders. It's still in a deficit, but it's not as bad. It's only 0.3 now. Are we in profit? Yes, okay, good. Now we're in profit, I'm going to ask Iran for a debt bailout. And then, just like Christmas came early, there's a guy in the IMF who was corrupt and was like, yo, give me like influence in your country and I'll lower your debt. And I was like, hell yeah. I don't have to buy any more fuel from Iran. Oh, this is good. This is good. 6 civilian factories. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Belarus Civil War? This is unhistorical, guys. Our protest strength is 1,200. That is 1,000 over what it is needed to start the Arab Spring. So I'm pretty sure by next year it's just going to start immediately. Alright, 2010. Now the Arab Spring could start this year, apparently. So now we're at the point where it's like it could begin. And right on cue, just as it could happen, the Arab Spring reached Syria. Alright, debt is now down to 600 billion instead of a trillion, which is good. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. Another investment. The Arab Spring reaches Syria. The wave of popular mobilization that has been sweeping across the Arab world has finally reached our shores. They're demanding serious reforms and in some cases the resignation of the government. And of course, I'm not going to do either of those, so the civil war is about to begin. Me to crush any and all opposition in a final attempt to remain control. We will never give up power. Civil war erupts in Syria. Alright. Okay, these are all still here, thank God. They're halved though. Wait, no, oh my God. Unfortunately, they were more than just halved. I did not have that many divisions in my deployment. In the southeast of the country were the Free Syrian Army, as well as the Sunni rebels in the northwest. Then in the northeast of the country, the Rojava area broke away. And I could have declared war on them, but I decided to just do one thing at a time, alright? So we let them go for free for now. Okay, hold on to Damascus and that should be fine. We're already like 35% towards capitulation. With the threat of my army getting entirely cut off on the east, there was no choice but evacuating it. I also called Iran in, but it was going to take a while for their troops to get over here, so I had to hold out for as long as I could. Now I know what you guys are going to say. You're a pussy. You called in Iran. I completely acknowledge that that is what happened. However, the rebels are way stronger than I am, and I didn't have that many divisions, okay? You know, if I ceded all of the east, I might have been able to hold, but then again, they have a lot of division. And I really wanted to win because there's a focus tree which opens up if you actually win the civil war. With Iran, I managed to cut off much of the Syrian Free Army in the south, and also liberate my forces that were trapped in the north. We would have lost if it wasn't for their support, 100%. We're about to do this victory one, so let's let the civil war be over. Come on. There we go. I don't have enough victory points? Oh, I should have seen that coming. Iran has all the victory points, and I can't decide what to do with my land. Fortunately, they were kind enough to give it back to me, so yeah. And now begins the actual hard part, okay? We have Rojava, which is still free, guaranteed by Turkey, and Israel keep violating our territory. They're bombing us and stuff. However, this gives us an excuse to try and reclaim the Golan Heights. Can I do victory, please? The civil war is over, alright? Give me the victory. One big problem though, the victory part of the civil war tree wouldn't open. It wouldn't let me do it, despite me winning. I mean, I guess Rojava is still free, but like in that focus tree, one of the focuses is the question of Rojava. So you would think it's just like I finished being at war. It's just forcing us to make this decision. An active war. Yeah, let's do it then. Crisis looms over following. They kept striking us. They've done it like 3 times. And if they want war, they can get it. I mean, I've got Iran on my side, so we might actually stand a chance. Okie dokie, 2011. I gotta deal with so much. Oh yeah, Israel. Oh. And then of course this is all demilitarized for Egypt, so they're not gonna come to my... We are gonna see a war. Iran and Israel war. And it just keeps getting better, because now Turkey's violating our territory. Why am I getting like gang rape? Hang on. No, but seriously, what is all this actual harassment of my territory? Iraq is we need to invade Iraq. But the independence of Iraq is guaranteed by Iran, but at the same time, Iraq is embargoing Iran. And they hate each other. Also, I've run out of manpower, and I can't really find a way to bring it up, so we're just going to have to deal with what we've got. And then Turkey and Iran went to war. And now this is huge, okay? Because I got to invade Rojava, which is guaranteed by Turkey. So I've shifted my attention away from Israel now because we've got problems with Turkey. But they're in NATO, so now it's going to call in the entirety of NATO. Meanwhile, Russia has invaded Ukraine, so hopefully Russia can invade NATO too, and they can take a lot of pressure off us. But then I had to shift my attention back to Israel because Hezbollah declared war on them, and they're in our faction. Oh, cool. We're at war with this Palestine now. Cool, yeah, totally. Now, my entire army was on the border with Israel at this point, and we were able to hold the line, but there was no way that we were pushing in. Iran is useless. Iran is getting... Oh my god. Don't ask me how India got involved against Iran. I don't know. Why? If Iran falls, we're definitely going to have to retry, because like they're the major of the faction and we'll die. Love when the game clearly isn't historical. So I reloaded to the 1st of January 2011, and hopefully things would turn out differently. This time, I joined the war against Turkey with Iran as soon as they went to war. Unfortunately, our border is really small, and if I were to invade Rojava, I'd have to justify for like 200 days. Yeah, rip. You can't push. And probably gonna get pushed back. I don't know how you're supposed to turn a country into a military powerhouse in this mod, because in vanilla it's easy. You just build military factories and you'll be right. But this game, you gotta worry about your economy. Anyway, Turkey started pushing me back and it was over once again. This time I decided to leave the Iranian faction and try and go down the focus tree that gave me the Jerusalem Defense Pact with Jordan and Egypt. That way I can just completely ignore Turkey, they had nothing to do with it, and I can focus solely on Israel. Okay, Hezbollah's just invaded Israel. What do you want me to do? I didn't join in when Hezbollah and Israel went to war though, because I wanted to get Jerusalem Defense Pact. So I would wait till next year before I declare war. Can I please get across? Yeah, Syrian civil war is not over. I don't know if you ask me, civil war seems pretty over. Is it like a decision that I need to click? Surely there isn't like a decision that's like, end the civil war, or proclaim victory or something. No. India joined that South American faction. Okay, which now means Japan is at war with Russia and NATO. So the South American factions are at war with Russia and NATO. That is so weird. I was sick of being locked out of the victory focus tree, so I did the only thing a rational person would do, and that was focus.nochecks and then focus.autocomplete. Cool. The status of Rojava. It is a Kurdish-dominated self-governing area in northern Syria. During the civil war, they fought mainly against ISIS with other secular and progressive militias and factions. Their end goal was to create the Federal Syrian Republic, though many see it as just Western Kurdistan. This area is part of Syria. We'll do that. After demanding their subjugation, we now could get a war goal on them, but they're still guaranteed by Turkey. Yo. Russia had just gone fascist. They just went nationalist. Surely, our war goal doesn't go away. No, it doesn't. Israel keeps refusing to pay retaliations. Oh. Did you see that? They just went from fascist to the communist flag. What? Belarus, which was just in NATO, has all of a sudden joined the CSTO, and it's... What is this? Look at this Belarusian leader. It's some Indian. What is going on? And now Ukraine has changed the flag for the third time. Now they're a non-aligned outlook. You know, I don't know if I like Millennium Dawn. It's too much. Like, I don't mind the economy system, but the research... Like, there's too many research slots, and then there's too many research, and it's so different, and I don't like it. Germany leaves NATO. Oh. Look at that. Nationalist outlook. Don't get me started on the peace deals of this mod. I mean, just look at India right now. Whoa, 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 whoa. Israel just invaded the Gaza Strip. They're fighting Palestine now. Now, this mod has just lost the plot at this point because Palestine is currently a puppet of Israel. And what you're about to see is Israel puppet Palestine after the war and then invade them. Puppet them and then invade them. Puppet them and then invade it. It's ridiculous. Cool. All right. Palestine is recapitulated. They keep invading and puppeting Palestine over and over again. And then Jordan broke out into a civil war. I was trying to influence them, and now they're in a civil war. Great. Anyway, next year, things would not get any better. Anyway, I did the Jerusalem Defense Pact, and Palestine rejected the alliance. You know, they're just too busy getting invaded by Israel, apparently. Anyway, I can still invite Jordan and Egypt. Jordan is in the middle of a civil war, so I guess I have to try Egypt right now. Do that. I don't care about Russia every single, 5 days, man. It's so annoying. I kid you not, I'm getting an event about Russia striking Georgia every 5 days. It's so annoying. Can they just go to war already? It literally doesn't affect me. It doesn't affect me at all. And Egypt rejects. This game is so fun! This is so fun, man. I love it when they just reject everything and nothing gets done. I love this. It's so fun. You see what I mean? It's hard to, actually play this mod. It is so hard. What do you mean they just reject the alliance? I'm trying to do the Defense Pact path. And nah, can't do it. Too bad. How is there going to be a glitch where it keeps releasing Palestine, declaring war, releasing as a puppet, declaring war, releasing as a puppet, declaring war? How is that going to be a thing? Why? The only good thing is that Rojava is in a civil war right now, and I could probably invade them because the side that won the civil war isn't guaranteed by Turkey. Alright, Georgia's now invaded Russia. Good on them. I would get sick of those constant raids too. But now that's going to put Russia at war with NATO. But the way it works is NATO doesn't even join the war all at once. They kind of join in one by one every few months, which is kind of extremely annoying. Oh, cool. Wait. This Jordan joined the Gulf... What the hell? The Jordan I was fighting against has now joined the Gulf Cooperation Council. What? Yep, so I officially can no longer have a single country in my faction. Anyway, I gave up on trying to justify in Rojava. I just used console commands to invade them because I'm sick of this mod at this point. They're capitulated, thank you, alright. Annex. Just runs too slowly. I'm locked out of... Oh, what the heck? Istanbul just got nuked. I joined the war on the side of Russia and tried to get my lands back from Turkey like Hatay. And as soon as I joined the war, Russia started losing. So, yeah, that's good, and my land started getting invaded. Russia agrees. Alright, we got a new ally or something. We're being invaded by Spain. I'm done. Okay. After my experience with this playthrough, I'm gonna say it, guys. This mod is actually worse than Cold War Iron Curtain. The economy system is better. The focus trees actually work, kind of, where this one, they just didn't work at all. Unfortunately, this mod is going to have to feature quite a lot in my Dictators A to Z. If you guys have any advice or tips on how to make the game run smoothly, putting on historical didn't work. Gaddafi, I'm going to have to play here, and a lot of other ones. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.